Hello, everybody. Welcome to Step Up Lives. Yet another video which is relating to your career growth and switch. So today we have with us Sanidhya, who's the data analytics lead for AccioJob platform. We have with him a small session to understand what this data analytics course is all about. Welcome, Sanidhya, to the program.
Thank you.
Right. So before we go ahead and get all details that data analytics, is this the right field for you? What are the details of this course? And a lot of questions we had from our previous videos as well, which were on full stack development, as well as all the queries we'll try to address here as well, because this is one course which people are still learning about and understanding. So let me just go through the overview of the website that is there for AccioJobs regarding the NSDC certified data analytics program that's coming up with 100% job assistance with 300 plus partners mentioned here with 75 plus case studies. So this is a program which will help you get placed to top MNCs as is indicated on the website, and all the information which is regarding the thinking capabilities and all such topics will also be taken up. So what are the projects, what are the program details, we'll definitely get into it. We'll also ask a lot of questions to Sanidhya about the mentorship, the overall placement related things. So do check out this link which is there in the description as well to get an overview of the complete program. We have Sanidhya with us, so it is better that we quickly jump into it so that we can ask all the questions directly to him and get the right perspective. So Sanidhya, first I'd like to just understand your background a little bit so that people and all our viewers can understand that when you are leading such a program, so what has been your background and stuff and know-how about it so that they can also get inspired.
Yeah, sure. So I'll start from the very beginning, right? So I was born in Bihar, born in Siwan, a district in Bihar, right? And after that, I did my schooling from Delhi itself. Post which I graduated from IIT Delhi, right? And after that, I was in the PwC's data analytics team. So I was mainly in the healthcare vertical, right? Focusing on some pharmaceutical companies and helping them with their go-to-market strategies, right? Based on data insights. And apart from that, I was also helping improve claims for some of our healthcare providers, and that was also based on some data insights only. Mainly extracting data with respect to SQL with help from SQL, and analyzing the insights with help from Python or Excel, and eventually presenting them through dashboards on Tableau and Power BI. So that was the idea. And currently, I am the data analytics curriculum lead at AccioJob. And we have been making the curriculum from the scratch, right? And there are some very exciting things that we have in our course that we'll be obviously discussing after this. So yeah.
Correct. So, Sanidhya, I just wanted to also ask you that, I mean, what are the big learnings actually, honestly, because when you have already been part of the industry, so when you are setting up this kind of a curriculum, right, what goes into it? I mean, in terms of the industry perspective and as a student as well, because now you have not been very far away from a student, right? So you have been a student as well with this similar nature. So what has been into building this curriculum for the students?
Right. So if you think about it, right? So having been in this industry for quite some time now, the one of the major problems that I could think about is that requires to excel in the data analytics industry is problem solving only, right? So it is very important to know how you can break a particular problem into smaller steps, right? Even if you know all the analytical know-how of all these tools that are there, right? So the major problem that the applicants, let's say, for example, are facing is the application of these tools, right? How you break a particular problem into smaller parts and how you validate and reject each of those parts through data, right? That is the very important thing that we are inculcating in our curriculum from the very first day itself. In fact, we are having separate classes for that so that students are not just able to learn all of these tools, they are also able to apply these tools through relevant industry projects. So that is
Correct.
the idea.
Right. So I just also saw on the website regarding this window, which was clearly indicating the kind of curriculum. If you could just give us an overview of that, so that people would be able to better understand. I mean, what is really this kind of a structure, and if you could just give us an overview, I've just put that on the screen as well.
Yeah, sure. So there for all of the companies that are there, right? For you can take startups or MNCs, right? They all have a database, right? Where data is stored, right? And first the first step is you'll have to extract data from the databases, right? and then you analyze data, and after that you present this data in a visual format to any of those leaders, right? So these are basically the steps. When you start from the very basics, then you go on to giving the, let's say, taking out the insights and giving the recommendations. So that
Right.
is the same flow that we have followed in our curriculum as well. So we start with Excel, right, because it is one of the oldest tools that is still used, right? And it covers the very basics of data analysis for learners as well, right? So that is the idea. And in Excel, we start from the very basics, right? We have identified different databases and projects that we'll be using in all of these tools, right? So we have covered different industries like sports analytics, e-commerce analytics, and apart from that, we have text and recommendation analysis from OTTs as well, that you can see on the project sessions as well. And after
Right.
Excel, we deep dive into SQL, right? So it is very important to extract data from the database, right? And we cover from the very beginning to the very end to the window functions and partitions by and all as well. And after that, we help visualize all of this data that we have analyzed and extracted from the database through Power BI, right? And with these tools, if you are able to upskill yourselves in these tools, and if you are good enough with these tools, right, and you have also developed your problem solving skills, which the sessions will be going hand in hand, right? You'll become job ready and you'll be able to apply to the companies, right? And if you want to become a data scientist as well, then you can learn Python and introduction to machine learning, which we have after this, right? Yeah, so that is the
Right.
idea about the curriculum.
Okay, fair enough. I think it's a clear idea that you've provided how it's made, and it looks pretty structured and step by step. So I just wanted to ask this question from the perspective of the students, right, who watch our videos. That what is the market like for data analytics at this point? Because a lot of people are like that. Do we really have the market for data analytics in terms of jobs? Are these there are in volumes? Because that's also a question by a lot of people, that whether if I take up this course, maybe I complete it, whether there will be a kind of placement opportunities available in the market. You've been very close to the market in terms of industries and stuff. So what is your opinion about the current scenario for data analytics as a job market?
Right. So you'll have to think about this from the very basic, right? So you see, for example, after COVID, there has been a digitization, right? So you see the advent of UPI only. That gives you an example. So there has been huge amount of data that has been generated each and every day, right? And to analyze this data, to get insights from this data analysts are required. Data
Right.
analysts or data scientists or data engineers only, right? And if I throw some numbers as well, so according to the World Economic Forum, there will be 23 lakh jobs that will be there in the world in 23 itself, this year itself, right? So the amount of jobs that are available in the market is quite huge now. But as I've mentioned before as well, the only gap between the applicants and what they will get, what skills they require to get hired is problem solving, right? So that is the key skill that we'll be focusing on apart from giving the analytical know-how with all of these tools.
Right. So I get a better picture that I think when you are skilled enough in that domain, you would be getting those opportunities that might come your
Yes.
way. Another question that is always asked in a lot of comments is that people who are coming from the non-tech background or non-IT background, they're always worried about the coding amount of coding that is involved in data analytics type of programs and courses. So they struggle a lot in terms of like developing that algorithms, DSA, a little afraid of. So, what is your opinion on the overall structure and how much coding is needed, right? If somebody is coming from clearly from maybe a science background or a commerce background, but not from the engineering or CSC background, what is your opinion on that?
Right. So in fact, this is the question that we have been asked most about from our users as well while we were doing market research, right? So if you're not much into coding, right, you can get a job in data analytics through Excel, SQL, and Power BI or Tableau, right? So you'll have to just extract data, analyze it, and you can visualize it to all of these three tools. But you do not require much coding for upskilling yourself in all of these three tools, right? But if you want to enter into data science, let's say for example, there are some basics of data structures that you have to learn, right? And that is the differentiator with us, right? We start from the very basics, right? So we assume that no one, a student that is coming to us, he has no knowledge of coding, right? So we start from the very basics. We help them first build their logical skills, right? And after we delve into, let's say, for example, you mentioned some DSA structures, right? So after that, only we delve into that. But we start from
Correct.
the very basics and we help students develop their logic building skills.
Correct. So
Right.
just coming to the fact that when somebody is coming up to join this course, for example, the AccioJob
Mhm.
data analytics course, whose link also you'll find in the description. So I want to understand that what are the kind of roles, right? I mean, in data analytics, some people are known as data engineers, some people are known as data scientists. So what is this all jargons about? If you can throw some light on it, because it's sometimes overlapping. Sometimes some job descriptions talk about data scientists and they have roles of data engineer. And so if you could just give us a little brief overview, the kind of roles that exist, and probably after completion of AccioJobs course, people will be able to acquire at least these roles, and if they advance to the levels that you just spoke about, that could be the other roles. If you could just give us an overview.
Right, sure, sure. So majorly there are four types of roles that you can get after doing any data analytics course, right? So there that will be a data analyst slash business analyst, and after that there will be a data scientist, and then data engineer, right? And eventually ML or an AI engineer, right? So that is the idea. And so basically so the basic idea of basic skill that is required for all of these is problem solving again, right? And if you want to again push yourself from a data scientist to a data engineer or an AI ML engineer, so the thing that you would require most is Python hands-on only, right? You should be good in on Pythons for let's say creating regression models, or you would be requiring to build right, data pipelines as well as a data engineer, right? And in our course, you'll be able to become a data analyst and data scientist, right? So that is
Okay.
the idea.
So that's fair enough. Okay, then coming on to another thing question, a lot of people keep putting that, should I choose full stack development or should I take data analytics? I mean, what would be your guidance to students? Because I know you would be biased towards data analytics. Probably you are the curriculum lead for it, but I would like to understand from you that if somebody comes to you with such a query, right, should I choose a path of a full stack development, front end development, or should I choose data analytics? So, what would be the things that you would really guide them with?
Yeah, so actually, that should depend on what the student wants, right? But yes, as you mentioned, I'm inclined towards data analytics industry, being in this industry for quite some time now. And even if you see, so what has happened with when you compare both of these industries, right? And if you see what has happened in the let's say the past decade, what is happening currently, and what is going to happen in the upcoming decade as well, you'll see the difference between these two industries, right? So the kind of jobs that will be there in data analytics in the upcoming decade, right, and that are there in right now as well, that are I think greater than the full stack development roles, right? Both of these fields are quite interesting, right? And eventually, as I've mentioned before, that depends on the choice of the user, right? But the boom currently is in the data analytics industry, and yes, I am
Okay.
biased.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, that also is also something that a lot of companies are needing these days. I also want to come to the placement part of it. I mean, how has been the placement experiences with students at Akio Jobs? I also saw some of the information that was indicating about a lot of students getting placed with so many organizations, with number of students who have been placed in this year. So how has been the placement and how has been the response from the industry for people who have graduated from AccioJob? If you could just share some, insights on this placement thing, because as I have been already seeing that it's outcome based, right? So how has
Right,
been the
exactly.
students been able to get placed, and is there a good number of students who are getting placed and all that? Could you just highlight that?
Right, sure. So I'll start from what we exactly do so that students are getting placed exactly right. So you'll have to be comprehensive to get placed, right? You'll have to have good communication skills. You need a good portfolio, right? And apart from that, you need good analytical skills and good problem solving skills as well. So we
Right.
cover all of these things from the very basics to the very top. So the skills that is required by the companies to get them hired, right? And that is why our hiring partners are coming to us continuously, right? And the kind of students with the skills that we are providing these companies, they are very happy with that, right? And those numbers are that is why those numbers are there, right? So we have 300 plus hiring partners who are coming onto a job portal continuously, right? So our students can apply on to all of these companies on a job portal itself. They do not have to go on anywhere on any other job portal sites, right? They can apply on these companies on a job portal itself. And we help them through all of these four skills that I've mentioned before, right? So that there is comprehensive upskill on the side of the student so that they get hired from these from our hiring partners.
Correct. So that we get a good idea about it. So also want to understand the structure of this course, right? Because a lot of people see online there are a lot of similar courses coming up on the internet,
Mhm.
and they have questions whether these are live classes, is these are recorded lectures, what is the doubt session kind of thing, does it happen in the evenings or it happens in the daytime. So if you could just give us an overview of what a program would look like if somebody wants to enroll in a data analytics course, whether they should leave their job before coming to this course, or what kind of thing, how is the structure overall, right, in terms of the curriculum, in terms of the timings and all that stuff. If you could just give us an overview.
Sure. So we did some very heavy market research on this, right? And the kind of feedback that we got from users is that for working professionals specifically, they're not able to invest much time on weekdays, right? And for college students as well, they want to invest the time on weekends only, right? So that is why our very important touch points like live classes, right, are there on weekends, and we also provide recordings for the classes. So if someone misses the class, live recordings, they can live classes, they can watch the recordings as well. And apart from that, we have chat support through chat, video, and voice call as well. So that when anyone has a doubt regarding any of these tools or anything regarding any assignments or anything, they can go to any of these mentors and they can ask a doubt directly. And apart from this, there is one very important thing that you should be practicing and giving continuous mock interviews, right? So that for that we provide working professionals who are already hiring and are hiring partners, right? So that they can test the students on these mock interviews and get them relevant feedback so that they can improve themselves and eventually get placed in these companies, good companies. So
Right.
that is the overall flow of the curriculum.
Right. So if I understand correctly, do are there any classes on the weekdays as well, or these are only on weekends and people only can refer on the weekdays? There are only recorded lectures and assignments that they have to complete. Is that correct? Which I understand.
On the weekdays, they'll have some assignments that they'll have to complete, right? And apart from that, will have some contests regarding their analytical tools or problem solving skills, right? And some classes around the contest discussion as well. But
Right.
the important touch points will be on weekends only. The live classes will be there on weekends, and there will be recordings for that as well.
Correct. So let's also get to the point where if somebody is watching our video and also, I mean, goes ahead and checks out the link in this there in the description and wants to join this course, right? So I'll just put up on the screen the flow that you've mentioned on your website, and if you want to add something before that, to understand that what will be the process in which somebody can enroll, and we'd also like to also how this enrollment process would work like.
Yeah, sure. So basically, what you just have to do is you have to register on the website itself, right? And there is a very short and simple online test that is made by me only that gives you an idea of how proficient you are if you want to enter the data analytics industry, right? So it has
Right.
some basic questions from English and mathematics around the 10th class itself, but it tests the aptitudes of yours, right? And based on your aptitude test performance, so on attempting the aptitude test, you will be eligible for these scholarships, right? And you will get a personal call from me only, right? And after that, you can pay and you can start your analytics career.
Right. So we'll
So
actually
that
also
is the overall process.
yes, so we also understand the overall fee structure that is there. So if you could just also give us an overview about, because we've also flashed that on the screen, that lifetime access to the course and it has like 84,999. So
Through EMIs of 12, 18, and 24 months, right? And the total fees, as is mentioned on the website, is around 85K, right? But based on your, when you attempt the aptitude test, you'll be eligible for scholarships. And yeah.
okay, so scholarships also, if you could just give us an idea about for students, like what could be the order. For example, somebody is like very good, yeah, and somebody's average, or who's maybe deserving, what kind of scholarships of magnitude would be available for students?
Right. So we give a maximum scholarship of around 10,000, right? That is dependent on the kind of background a particular student has, right? And the kind of scores that they're getting in the aptitude test. Because this is a flagship batch, right? And that is why
Correct.
we are focusing on a very less number of students, and we want the students who are getting enrolled into a course that they have the intent to excel in this course, right?
Correct.
So which makes this batch exclusive as well, right?
Correct. Fair enough. And also, as we touched upon the fees of this program, I also would like to understand from you an honest assessment of the average salary packages that we can expect from people who join this course. So, what is your assessment of that, right? For example, when companies are coming, what kind of packages maybe probably uh, students are getting, because you are in the thick of things, probably you will be able to give us a good idea so that people will also understand the return on investment. Honestly, if somebody is investing money, so what is kind of packages that you are seeing for data analytics placements?
Right. So there is a very important and interesting magazine known as Analytics India magazine, right? Which generates reports on the analytics industry in India each and every year, right? And we have been referring to that as well because it is being used worldwide by all of those analytics industry experts. So according to that report, right? So the average data analyst salary in India in the last year has been 9.6 LPA, which we have mentioned on our website as well. So if you are able to upskill yourself in gain all of these analytical skills, and if you have improved your problem solving skills as well, then you should be expecting anything around this only.
Fair enough. I think this is a good, fair expectation at this point of time that you have indicated about these courses, right? Before we, I mean, end this session, I want to understand from you any maybe uh, advice for people who have maybe listening to us for almost like 20 plus minutes now. That what is your view about data analytics in the upcoming future, and what is your advice? Because there are a lot of news about recession, people losing their jobs as well, right? So people are afraid also that where should I take up the plunge towards data analytics or IT roles, because there are a lot of layoffs in such sectors as well. So what is your overview ahead and advice for students who have been watching us?
Right. So I'll just give a few examples, right? So when you talk about any of these new technologies like Chat GPT or Bitcoin as well, so there is data that is going at the back of this, right? There is a machine that is learning. There's a machine learning model that is learning itself, right, and that is predicting the answers that the users are asking. So if you think of any of these new technologies that are coming in, right, the data is at the backbone of all of these things, right?
Right.
And in the next decade or 2 decades as well, all of the new things that will be coming, I'm pretty sure data analytics will be the backbone of this only. So you should not worry about the recession right now. Yes, I know there's a recession right now, but for the data analytics industry, uh, it is going to boom in the upcoming decade as well, right?
Correct. So I think it's an good, I mean, overview of the program that we have got from you, and I'm sure a lot of people who are now actually looking to upskill themselves in the area of data analytics have a good perspective already. And I think for all the people who have joined us, the link of this program is then in the description box. I would recommend you that first check out this link, understand what are the details mentioned here, and what is the program overall like. And you can definitely check this out, probably register, speak to the mentors here at AccioJob, so that you get a fair idea of what you are getting into. Because I would always advise people that uh, research on your own as well, look at the program, look at their placement records and all information that is provided, and then take a judicious call to apply for such courses, and definitely upskill yourself. Because as Sanidhi mentioned that recession and not recession, skilling up is not an option at all, right? So that would be something that I would like you to, I mean, my advice from my side a little bit. So thank you so much, Sanidhya, for joining in. I think we've covered more or less any topics. Anything else on your mind that you want to share with the students before we end the session? I would leave that to you.
Yeah, so I would just like to end out at this point, right? So, let's say improving your problem solving skills is very important, right? So you should know how you should be breaking a very big problem into smaller parts, right? That will help you any time in your life, right? So let's say for in this example only, you mentioned that which industry I should be going into, right? Whether it's a full stack industry, whether it is a data analytics industry, right? So you divide that problem into smaller parts. That is the idea behind problem solving. You divide this into different industries like data analytics industry, full stack industry, and then you go into the next path. You divide data analytics industry into three steps. Maybe let's say you see its past performances, its current performances, and its performance in the future as well, right? So that is the idea. Problem solving is very important to not just get your first job, to excel in this industry and in any industry itself, right? So probably focus on this. Probably focus on upskilling yourself in these analytical tools as well as problem solving, right? And we are sure we can help you with that as well. So yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining in, and for everyone who's watched us all this while. Do like this video, share it with your friends, and do comment your thoughts, comment your questions. I would also request maybe Sanidhya to later on see some of the questions and comments. If some come in on the comment section, maybe if you can respond or probably something like that, because that would be a good clarification if there are any things that we have not covered or maybe not interpreted or displayed in the right manner. So that would be something, would be a great. So thank you so much. Thanks everyone for joining in, and thanks Anidhi for joining in, giving us your time. And until next time, like, share, subscribe, and share your videos this all the time. Thank you so much, and bye bye.
Thank you.